So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to see so many famous names. I'm here today. Our host for the webinar is Shailene. She will be presenting her beautiful Moskito Island and 4 extra special estates. So Shailene, tell us more.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me today, Dominique. And just in general, I want to say thank you. It's been so lovely to work with you over these past 6 months. Everywhere I go, I feel like you're famous and I'm just tagging along, hoping to know who you know. So you've been wonderful and we really appreciate you, especially for this network of people that you brought to us today. So that alludes to the fact that I've only been with Moskito about 6 months, so relatively new. But in this 6 months, I've learned something interesting, and it's what I really want to share with you today. And so I've started my presentations with this lately because it really kind of, I think, brings home the answer, why Moskito? So I'm going to ask you a question, and then while I'm presenting, feel free to let your mind wander, because I think it's important that you come up with your own answer. I won't be able to ask you directly today, but I think it's important that you know your answer to this question. And the question is, if you were told tomorrow that you had 1 week left to live, what are you going to do at that time? So the doctor says to you, you get 7 days. What are you doing with that week? Okay, so let your mind wander and think about what you might do. And in the meantime, I'll tell you about how 6 months ago, I was interviewing with the CEO and some of the other homeowners about potentially working at Moskito. I've lived in the Caribbean about 15 years, and coming back to the BVI this time was like a bit of a homecoming. So I'm interviewing with them, and I say to them, you know, if I'm going to work there, if I'm going to sell it, I'm really going to have to experience it. I'm going to need to know what it's like to be a guest. I think I'm going to have to stay in every single one of the estates and be treated like a guest. And they agreed. So it was the perk of my life. For a whole month, 6 months ago, I got to live on Moskito, and I went from estate to estate. And they treated me like a guest, and it was absolutely wonderful. The whole time that I'm there, I knew I would have to speak to you like this eventually. And I really wanted to be able to answer for myself as honestly as possible how Moskito was different. I know that each of you have an enormous portfolio of amazing luxury properties at your disposal because you're part of the Dominique's network. I know that you have access to just tons of beautiful properties, whether they're standalone villas or gorgeous resorts. And it's my job, I knew during this time, as I'm going from estate to estate, to figure out how Moskito is different, so I can explain to you why you should trust us with your clients in the right scenario. So one day, and the reason that I've got this picture specifically up here is because I'm sitting in that little hot tub. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like right here, okay? And I've sent the chef home for the evening. I've sent the housekeeping home. It's just me. And I've got a gorgeous glass of Sauvignon Blanc, and I'm looking out at the sunset. That fire is blazing on the horizon, and I'm thinking to myself, my gosh, I am so lucky. This is my job. So I'm sitting there like this, and I'm looking around, and it occurs to me, that I'm kind of lonely. Like, it's a big house, it's a beautiful house, but I'm kind of lonely. Wouldn't it be amazing if my friends and family could have been here with me? And that brings me back to the question I asked you at the beginning. And it's something, like I said, I've asked a lot of people since I've started this job, and I keep collecting the answers, and I've used it a lot with our staff when trying to explain the heart of what we do and of who we are. And the truth is that a lot of people answer the same. The answer is typically something like, I would gather together all my friends and family. I might blow all my money. We might take a trip. But the important piece is I would gather together all the people that I love, and I would make memories, knowing I only had 7 days left. And really, to me, that is exactly who Moskito is and what we do. It's all about the time together. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, we have some of the most extraordinary homes on the planet. But these homes were designed by people who wanted to spend time with the people that they loved. And I think it's very obvious as you go through these different estates that they're not ordinary. These estates are not made for honeymoon couples. They're not made for even 2 or 3 couples to come together. These estates are very large, and each of the spaces in them is kind of purposely designed to foster connection between people. And I hope you get a sense of that as we go through these slides. But this is why we do what we do. And it's a very important purpose, I think, which is that time together is life's greatest luxury. Also a little bit ironic because we are very luxurious.
Yeah.
So in answering the question, once that hit home to me and I realized, okay, I know why we do what we do, it became the answers of how we're different became really obvious to me. So this is one of our estates, and we'll dive into it a little bit. But it's made to drive home the point. The slide is supposed to drive home the point that each of our estates was designed by a billionaire. So the estates are worth about $100 million each, and each of them are incredibly thoughtfully designed by some of the world's greatest architects and the world's greatest interior designers. The idea being that if it's good enough for the billionaires and their family, hopefully it's good enough for your clientele. I think what is really unique about Moskito is that these homes in a lot of ways are like a super yacht that never leaves the land. You know, the way that a crew is with the super yacht and they stay with the super yacht no matter where the owner is in the world, and when the owner says I'm coming, the yacht is ready. It's very similar to what we have in our estates. Our estates are fully staffed, and the word staff doesn't even do it justice. So I actually like to use the word crew akin to a super yacht, because the billionaires that built these homes have handpicked these individuals, and we're talking about estate managers, world-class private chefs with kitchen porters and full kitchen staff, housekeepers, guest services, head of guest services, world-class bartenders. These people, these crews really are waiting at the estates for their billionaire to come back, and they've been handpicked globally for their skill. And so I really think it speaks to the next level of experience that you get with these crews. The interesting thing is that they're not just staff. And the reason that I say it like that is because they truly are involved in the vacation. It's not just like you have a butler, a private butler waiting to help you with something, or a housekeeper who comes in when you're not there. You have this crew of individuals that spend their time together at the homes, and they are involved every step of the way in the planning. So from the very beginning, far before, like once the booking is made, far before the guests arrive on island, we're curating itineraries, we're curating menus, everything specifically to taste that is approved before the guests arrive on the island. So when they get to the island, there's absolutely no thinking required. But beyond that, we have one of our estates even has an entertainment coordinator, kind of like a cruise ship director, right? And so the idea is that he's getting people involved in the karaoke and really coordinating people throughout their vacation to make sure they're making the most of it. And most importantly, to foster that time together. So as I'm going through these slides in this next little bit, I want you looking at the estates and thinking to yourself, in your mind, in your clientele, who do you have that has a milestone coming up? Whether it's a 60th birthday where they want to bring together all of their friends from all over the world, maybe it's a 70th birthday and it's really important that they get all the generations of their family under one roof, which can be quite rare depending on how big the family is. Maybe it's a second wedding. I want you looking at these estates with an eye that is keen for the spaces. So all of the dining spaces being made to cater to large groups of individuals. But more than that, thinking of how our crews can help foster those connections between the individuals. So right here, for example, this is a picture of our beach Olympics. And it's something that people decide before they come if they want to participate in something like this, or maybe tipsy tennis. We have lots of activities where the estate crew is really kind of curating this bonding experience between the individuals. And I think that kind of sets us apart from different resorts out there where you've got this private space and you've got these people that are wholly focused on making your time as enjoyable as possible, a bit like summer camp, but for billionaires. This is just an example of what these spaces look like and feel like, and when you walk into them being wholly curated. They're also, Moskito is all inclusive. So the idea being that people are never nickel and dimed. When they come, it's all the menus, everything has been determined before people arrive. It's premium spirits, it's premium wines, and it all flows when they're there. So we would never want at the end of a trip for someone to worry about who ordered the huge round of Patron shots at midnight when half the group was asleep. The idea being that it's meant to be over the top, synonymous with Moskito. We try and provide experiences for these groups that not only foster the connection, but kind of blow their minds a little bit. So we'll dive into some of the estates. I'll just go through a little bit of what makes each one unique. What I like to remind people of is, you know, your clientele, and I know these estates. And each of the estates has a personality and very different attributes that make it different from the other estates. So when you come to me, it's important that you let me know what type of people we're talking about, what their group dynamic is, what the different ages are, what they like to do, and we can match them to the estate that best suits them. So this is Oasis. It's made to look like a super yacht. As you can see, it's got the 3-tiered deck. This is our largest estate. Currently it has 11 bedrooms, and by November of this year, 13 of them will be complete. So that means that a double occupancy, you can fit 26 individuals, but with children included, you can get over 40 in this estate. So when we were talking about, you know, a multi-gen family coming together, this is a really great option where they can all be in one space, still having their private bedrooms, of course. And I use the word bedroom lightly because the bedrooms are actually suites. All the bedrooms on Moskito have their own living rooms, have their own outdoor terraces. Not one is just a bedroom. All of them have their own private en-suites, making it a private vacation, but also they can come back together in these larger spaces. So this one obviously has a sports bar. It's got its own gym, a really heavy wellness focus. We see lots of multi-gen in the Oasis, as well as we see lots of corporate incentive. Multi-gen because 5 of the bedrooms are actually under one roof. So where a lot of the other estates have more pod style homes that, you know, you go through a garden to get to or something like that, for parents with younger children or people who want to be closer together, those 5 bedrooms under one roof do tend to come in handy. It also has an elevator, which means that, you know, if you have someone a little bit older in the group, they can have access to all the floors of the house without having to do any stairs at all. It sits on 3 acres and, you know, is absolutely kind of over the top, really a bit of Instagrammer's dream, I think. Like I said, each of the suites has its own living room. In Oasis, each of the living rooms has its own Tempur-Pedic sofa bed. So great for families with kids. Parents get their own bedroom and their own ensuite, and they can be in a completely separate room from the kids, but really high quality bed for the little ones. And of course, the whole point of it, time together, right? So big lawn space with lots of games at Oasis. You got the cornhole and, you know, Connect Four out on the lawn and croquet, but you also have these gorgeous fireplaces and bars to gather around. This here is the estate that I was showing you at the beginning with the sunset when I was talking about that hot tub, which was right there. This is called The Point. The Point, and this is a good example of what I was saying about the bedrooms being spread out in a lot of the homes, right? So this here is the great room, and then each of these are bedrooms that surround it. So you really do have, you know, this expansive piece of property that is all yours to enjoy. I think the most unique thing about The Point is that it's got direct beach access. So this long stretch of beach over here, you just walk down a set of stairs and you're right at the beach with water sports, Hobie cats, paddle boards, kayaks, all of that kind of stuff. To me, The Point is really ideal for groups of friends, couples coming together. The great house of The Point has tons of games. You can see it's got pool, but it also has ping pong and foosball. It's got big dining areas, a gorgeous hot tub, a cinema, all in that one great room. But then as you get into the bedrooms, it's really like these private oases where people can just be the two of them, and it's everything they would expect from a very luxury hotel room. Indoor outdoor showers, private en suites, outdoor terraces with their own private view. This home, one of my favorite things about it is that they have a table in the swimming pool in the evenings, looking out at the sunset and the infinity. It's absolutely gorgeous. And they have this downstairs dining pavilion as well, which doubles as a great place to get massages. Yes, I did get to have one there. But yeah, each of the bedrooms, absolutely stunning. This is the master with its own crow's nest seating area up top. All suites at Moskito have their own wet bar with a wine fridge and ice maker in the rooms, as well as coffee facilities. So like I said, you can be as separate as you want to be or as together as you want to be in the great room. The Point also has this bunk room, which, like, I don't know if you guys have cousins, but when I was a kid, I would have loved, you know, so it's got eight bunks. And like I said, it's all inclusive at Moskito. One of the important things to note is that we have a 3-night minimum, but we also have a 5-suite minimum. So you don't have to take all the bedrooms in an estate. If you do have a smaller group of, say, 10 people at double occupancy, that's 5 bedrooms. That meets our minimum requirements. The point has 8 bedrooms plus this bunk room, and the bunk room is always separate. So if you decide you'd like it, you can take 5 suites plus the bunk room or not, and the whole estate obviously comes included with it. You have a nanny suite right next door and a larger bathroom. These are the stairs down to the beach area from the point, so you just can go up and down all day long, which is great for the kids. We do a lot of catching lobster and doing a beach dinner right there, and then it turning into a campfire later in the evening. Our third estate that I want to talk about today is the Village, and there is absolutely no doubt that the Village is the party estate. So we all have those clients who like to go on vacation and fill their itinerary with all sorts of activities nonstop. They can't sit on the beach. I would say that the Village is not for them. The Village is for people who like to stay up late, having a really great time. All of the facilities at the Village are kind of made for this party atmosphere. So you've got this LED staircase that lights up. You've got all club level sound and lighting in the home. You'll see you actually have a DJ booth that comes out of the floor. This is the great space there. As you can see, lots of games, big bar area, great hangout space. It's got a 2-tier pool and a water slide that connects the 2 pools to each other. On the bottom level of the pool, you've got a grotto area. It's like an underwater bar cave. It's very cool. Over here, you have a jacuzzi. Under there's a shark disco ball for when things start to pick up in the evenings. And you have an in-pool fire pit there as well, which I'll show you a picture of in a little bit. All of the spaces, the dining spaces at the Village, are made for large groups. This one specifically in the dining area has barn doors that open up to the kitchen, so you can watch Chef Mac do his work. Chef Mac is hands down the best chef in the BVI. I know because he was at Coco Maya, which is the best restaurant in the BVI for years, and the homeowner stole him from there. So he's absolutely exceptional. They also have a private reserve wine cellar. So while all premium wines are included, you can upgrade for if you have discerning taste. That's the in-pool fire pit there that I was talking about. You have a movie theater room with all the walls, being speakers. So watching a movie in here, now for me it was Finding Nemo, is a really great experience. This is the master bedroom. The doors open up all the way around, so you can see that, well, in this bathtub here, it fills from the top, but you can see ocean all the way around. Up top, there's this beautiful lounge area. And then all of the bedrooms are kind of like mini versions of the master. They all have a lounge area separate from the bedroom area. They have their own ensuite bathroom with outdoor showers. And 3 of them actually have sleeper couches in the living room as well, which can increase the occupancy. So the Village has 9 bedrooms, but it can actually sleep up to 24 people, depending on how the group breaks down. That's that DJ booth that comes out of the floor. You've also got, smoke and lighting that all matches and synchronizes all throughout the house. So things get a little wild. Like I said, we have costume boxes, and it's really, again, just about fostering that connection between the people who come and enjoy their time at the Village. Everything's kind of over the top, and a lot of people who come to the Village don't leave the Village, even though there's lots to do on the rest of the island and in the surrounding islets, which I'll get into in a second. This is the picture behind me, obviously. This is our newest estate. It's Cape Stout, and as I was joking with Dominic earlier, no, it's not a hillside town. This is one home. Cape Stout has 7 bedrooms. 1 more is being added, so it's soon to be 8. I absolutely think probably the most unique thing about Cape Stout is this private beach that it features right next to the house. There's steps, paths go right here. You can see it takes you right down there. Cape Stout also comes with its own boat included. And so, I would say that where the Village is the party estate, Cape Stout is really for active individuals, people who are looking to get up early, maybe get out and do some water sports. There's also, as we'll go through these pictures, you'll see a full gym, a half basketball court, which you can see back there. So really a little bit more, I would say, for the go-getters, the holiday go-getters. This is that beach, we call it Honeymoon Beach. It's absolutely stunning. Turquoise water's great, snorkeling around there. One of the unique things about Cape Stout is it has a pool that goes through the house. They call it the canal pool, and you can get in from multiple bedrooms. They can serve you that picture of sushi that we saw. They push the sushi out down the canal and it comes out to you in the pool. It's pretty great. And the estate manager, Marcus, who is a mixologist and an amazing one at that, if you catch him in the right mood late at night, he will give you a floating architectural tour where you can actually float on your back through the house with all the lights on, and he explains all the different angles and the different things that the architect considered when building the home. So absolutely extraordinary, gorgeous sunsets up here. We've mentioned a couple times that Moskito is all inclusive. When it comes to breakfast, typically the way it works, whether you've got one estate or you've rented multiple estates, is people stay in the estate for their breakfast. There'll be a breakfast bar, and then you also have made to order with the chef. This is the great room in Cape Stout. Up top, you'll see a gorgeous, the stairs lead up to a gorgeous room that has a record player, that has 250 vinyl albums, a fully stocked bar. So after dinner, people tend to go up there and really enjoy their time. As you can see, Cape Stout is just so thoughtfully designed. There's 230 types of tile in the home. Every staircase is different from the last, every bathroom is different from the last, and every room is aesthetically very different. But of course, they all have that wet bar with their own Smeg coffee machine, gorgeous en-suites like this. A lot of them, this one you can see has its own hot tub. I mentioned Cape Stout has 7 pools, so there's no shortage of jacuzzis. 2 of the rooms, Salt and Sand, have their own lounge area. This picture is taken from the top loft area where there's actually a second bed for kids. So it's great for a small family. Again, you'd have your little kitchen area. This one overlooks Honeymoon Beach. And this is, the wet bar. You've got a gorgeous outdoor shower back here with all reclaimed glass. So I think you get a sense of the aesthetic being absolutely gorgeous with those outdoor terraces. So what you're looking at here is called the Beach Barn. And hands down, if I have 1 week left to live, I want to spend it in the Beach Barn with my girlfriend. This bedroom is for children, but also 42-year-old women who enjoy a good sleepover. There is 3 queen beds, 2 double beds, this gorgeous central area that has a large screen TV, PlayStation. Obviously, these are the beds, like just so cute. You pull your curtain, you got your little cubby hole. All the drawers are underneath the beds. That's on the 2nd level. The bathroom in this is like a locker room where all the hooks are coordinated with the different towel racks and everything. So to me, just a kid's dream. I mean, as far as parents wanting a little time alone, try getting your kids out of here. So this is just a back shot of what Cape Stout was like. I was telling you about that upstairs gorgeous room with the record player. There's also this net open to the night sky. The windows all open up top if you want. So just really, really, really thoughtfully designed. Full gym, Peloton tread and bike, as well as free weights, really top of the line across the board. You've got the basketball court, which converts into a movie theater at night. So everybody sits on the stadium there. They put a projection up on the wall. This one was Kung Fu Panda for me when I was there. I got a thing for the animation and the Pixar, but just an extraordinary estate, so well thought out. Once you're on the island, it's important to note that we have mokes and golf carts to get everybody around. Typically, the staff does the driving so that the guests can do the drinking, but it means that getting from estate to estate really, really easy. So if you do rent more than just 1 or 2 estates, getting in between them is not difficult. As I've said, we have 4 estates for rent, but there's also multiple places on island that people can host different experiences. So this, for example, is our beach house. It's one of the common areas that comes included in the stay, as does everything. All the activities on island, but beach house is included. It comes with its own private chef. The idea is that you're in the estate most of the week, but if you want to come down and have a private beach day, this is a great place to do it. You've got the beach right on the water there with this big infinity pool, hot tub, bar outside, bar inside. You can see a long dining table there. So it's just another space for the group to come and enjoy something a little different, try a different chef's food. It makes for a really lovely day. This here is Manchineal. It's the public beach. By public, I mean for the island. So anybody from any of the estates can come down to this beach at any point. We have our loungers out. You've got a gorgeous bar, but you also can do water sports from this beach quite easily. So a lot of people choose to Hobie Cat to Manchineal, take out a paddleboard in the morning. You can also get a private chef down here, still included in the stay, no matter where you're staying. We have these private thatch areas for lunch on the beach, which, you know, if you're just hanging out all day, typically groups want to have at least one beach day. This is a great way to do it. So other things that come included is you can have a yoga instructor in the morning. We have a wellness activities coordinator right on site. He'll do HIIT workouts. We have gorgeous hiking paths all over the island. They're being marked out this year, so you can, you know, take a bunch of different ways to get around, but guided hikes are something a lot of people enjoy. We have 2 tennis courts, floodlit at night with stadium seating. Like I said, it can be tipsy tennis or it could be more serious tennis, depending on people's interests. We're also putting pickleball in on the island. That'll be available by January of 25, so very soon. It's underway right now. All the water sports are included on island. So that's things like towables, so, you know, the tubing, or if you wanted to go wakeboarding, using the sea bob, and like I mentioned, all the snorkeling and all of that, just all included. People can go down and use it at any point. We have a gorgeous fireball. We love to set up fires at night. It's a great bonding experience, and that comes included in the stay. And then, of course, the BVI, if you're not familiar with it, it is in the same archipelago as the USVI. It's known as the sailing capital of the world. So we're all about the yachting, all about the super yachts coming in. And I would definitely encourage everybody to get out on a boat at least once during their stay and go see the surrounding islands, go to another beach somewhere. The BVI is a boating culture, and we are surrounded by places to go and things to do. So this here is the Bitter End Yacht Club. It's quite famous. It's about a 3-minute boat ride from where we are. Sabre Rock is 2 minutes away, and it is a restaurant island. So if you want nightlife, literally you just hop on a boat and you're there in like 2 minutes, and this whole place transforms at night and just becomes very, very lively. All of these are tenders from people who are on yachts, and they've come in for dinner. And so it's just such a unique culture, and we really encourage guests to get out and enjoy it. This is the Willie T. It's a pirate ship bar, and it's mandatory. If you come to the BVI for the first time, you must jump off the top of the Willie T. Everybody does it. You have a painkiller, and take a shot ski. It's a really unique culture here in the BVI, and so we definitely encourage people to get off the island and to go and explore. Some of the other extras that people can add on to their stay, obviously fire dancers, saxophonists, different bands like Steel Pan. We have full massage services, facials that can come and do them in suite or anywhere on the estate. Typically, having that ocean background is a lovely way to do it. You can land right on Moskito by helicopter and take off from there, obviously for an additional charge. I'll just stop there and say that the round trip airport transfers are about 15-minute by boat. We come and pick your group up. You get 3 transfers, round trip transfers included with everything else. Again, we don't want to nickel and dime. And so the idea being that we pick you up, you get a rum punch or a champagne, and you get to the island in about 15 minutes. And if not everybody arrived at the same time, it's no big deal. We'll go back and get the rest when they do arrive. This is an overview of the island, just showing you some of how close the estates are to each other that we reviewed. So not very big. It's 125 acres. It's got a real private island feel to it. So a little less resort, a little bit more about the estate that you're on, but also just lots of options for things to do when you're on island. So that's me, that's Moskito, and we hope that you'll give us an opportunity to show you that time together is life's greatest luxury here.
Thank you very much, Shannon. I think everyone is going to agree with me that it was magnificent. I mean, presentation exceptional, I would say. And we know I do a lot of webinars, but you went through each estate, explain all the difference. I think everybody has really now a great, you know, a stronger knowledge of what it is. Voilà. So let's see at the question. Nancy, actually, she said, may I offer to also stay a month or 2 should you need another unbiased opinion? So all right.
Thank you. You're a giver. Yeah.
And then Nancy, the minimum of night, you said 3 nights.
Yeah, so it's a 3-night minimum, 5 suite minimum. So we get a lot of long weekends, I would say.
Yep. Elaine, she said she logged in a little late, so hope there is a recording. Yes, there is. And Shalene will send it to you. Ellen wants to know the name of the last estate that you showed.
Oh, Cape Stout.
Cape Stout. Would you like to spell it, to type it?
Sure. Like cape is like as in like a superhero wears a cape, and stout as in a beer. So Cape Stout, CAPESTOUT.
Perfect. And then I see one more. Jane Borman want to see which airport?
So you fly into EIS, which is the International Airport on Tortola. It's got a 3-hour direct flight out of Miami 3 times a day on American.
That's the one I took when I came in November. So, by the way, I stayed in this oasis. You remember, everybody remember this master suite? So that's what I had. And you do feel a little lonely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not made for one.
No, it's not made for one. But as you said, you really say, wow, that would be, you see, wow, that would be great if.
Yes,
That's the feeling
exactly.
that you have. Gina once said, can all the estate be occupied at the same time? If so,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
max number of guests on the island at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely something that we do quite a bit of, I would say, is corporate incentive, but also just larger groups. You know, if you do have those 60th birthdays or whatever, you can take more. After 2 estates, we ask that you involve an event coordinator. We have a really great recommendation here in the BVI. Things tend to get a little bigger. I think that the amazing thing about renting more than one estate is that you have a variety of venues. So imagine having a pool party at Cape Stout one day, your big party night up at the village one night, your cocktails at Oasis one evening. It just gives you a lot of variety, more so than a place that would only have, one central gathering space or private venue.
And the chef as well. I remember one day I had an Italian dinner and another time was a vegetarian chef. So it's amazing as well, because the quality of chefs and they're all different.
They're all very different and they also offer really unique things. So, I mean, he's your chef for the week. So if you want to do like a fresh pasta making evening where everybody participates or maybe makes their own pizzas or, makes their own sushi, they do lots of really unique things as well. It's again about fostering that connection and creating those memories.
We have someone asking, do you mention price range? So no, you have not mentioned it
I
yet.
haven't, yeah. So I would say that our 5 suite minimum in low season, so the entry level price point is 16,000 a night, and it goes up from there. It can be as much as 50,000 a night for the entire Oasis 13 bedrooms over festive. So it's kind of in between those two things. It's probably worth mentioning that you get 15% commission because Dominique.
Thank you. And it's all inclusive as well, so they don't have to deal with
And
it.
actually, Dominic, I think that that's the biggest value, because we have lots of comp sets where it's not all inclusive and it can make us appear quite a bit more expensive. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about the value of all that food and all of those curated experiences and all those beverages, I think it really
like what
makes
you
a big
have
difference.
behind you. Your own private boat is included, your own private beach is included. So, alors, Trisha, do you have some printed sheet that's with all the info, difference of the villa, etc.? Yes.
Yeah, so we actually have a dedicated brochure to each estate. It dives into each of the bedrooms and everything. They're just hyperlinked, really easy to flip through, but it really helps you understand exactly what each estate is like. And then we have a master one for the island as well, so I can share those at any point.
Voilà. Gina said, thank you. Do you have only one group on the island at one time, even if occupying only 5 suites?
No, so the island is not private. There are 7 estates on the island in its entirety, and 4 of them rent out. So at any given time, there may be another estate that is occupied.
Voilà. But it's rare that we said, because these billionaire or the friends of the billionaire that are not, and the 3 other estates that are not renting, it's not
They
always.
don't come very often, right? Like they have like 8 other homes. So, it tends to feel very much like a private island, but the reality is that there may be another group on another estate.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Ellen said you did a great job in showing us the style and the feel of the home. Thank you. We have, when all estates are occupied, do you see guests from estate interacting with each other?
I would say only if they want to. I think one of the best things about Moskito is that the level of privacy that we can offer, because you have your own crew, because you have everything that you need on your estate. You don't have to mingle with others if you didn't want to. Even if you wanted a private beach day, you've always got the beach house where we just reserve that for you up to 3 times during your stay, and you've got a completely private beach experience. Having said that, if you did want to spend time with other people, that can also be arranged because we do have that stretch of more public beach for the island.
But by experience, maybe the question was more with your own experience. Do you think people do that often or not that much?
No, I think it's really much more about the groups being with themselves, and
Yeah,
they tend to move as a group and do things just them, except for that day that they'll go out island hopping and go to the different bars and stuff like that around. That's typically a little bit more the social day.
yes. Ruth said it's amazing. Thank you. Julia would love a brochure of each estate, so it will be in the follow-up. But everybody should know that on our website, we have, of course, an access direct to all the rates and the brochure, just for you to know that. But in that case, it's always nice that Shelly have a dedicated email that she will send to you. Jane would like, you have a picture of the nanny's room?
Oh, yes.
Huh?
Yeah, we call that ocean view at the point. No problem. I can send that through afterwards.
And Joanne said, absolutely beautiful presentation. Yes, really. Yeah, it's you're a great speaker, and I think everybody's going to want to send their clients. Huh?
Well, it's an honor to work for a place like this and to work with you, Dominic. Thank you for the forum.
So you have some availability, I think, all the falls, huh? And I think you're already booked for festive, but maybe you have one Christmas availability left.
We do. We have for departure on the 27th. We have availability. Cape Stout. That's the one behind me. This is really incredible with its own boat and stuff. That one's available until the 27th. It would make an amazing Christmas.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I have not seen it because they were finishing it when I came in November. Huh?
I can't wait for you to come and see it. It's stunning.
And everything else, but I'm happy to be back soon. All right. So thank you very much. Jean, June 25 is open. She needs 2 estates, so 20 room.
Yes, we do have one multi-estate booking in June, but we have definite slots of availability. So I'll be sure to follow up.
Now, if you can send us the dates, Jane, and thank you, everyone. I hope you will trust. You can see Shalene note what she's doing. And the stuff is amazing. The food was amazing and very, I don't know. I loved it personally.
Thank you.
So, thank you, everybody. And see you on another webinar in 2 hours. 2 hours, 1 more hour. Allez, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Shalene. Thank you.